What is up, everyone? Welcome to another video. This is one that I've been anticipating for a little bit. I actually got this little gem on the eShop. I was just looking through right after Christmas, looking for some good games because they have a quality amount of games for like $5. You can get some pretty good games, especially if, when they're discounted on deals. I stumbled across this little game called Oxenfree. It's available on the Switch and the Xbox One. I'm pretty sure it's also on PC, and I think it might be on the PlayStation Store. I'm not really sure. I got it on the Switch for $5. I think it was originally like $20. It's $20 on the Microsoft Store, so I know that. But it was $5 when I got it. I saw the little trailer that they had on the eShop, and it looked decent. I mean, I had no idea what it was really about, but I was like, it looks good, right? So I downloaded it, and as most indie games that I get on my Switch, I don't play them immediately. I'll play them like 2 weeks later once I'm bored of playing, you know, Smash Bros or Pokemon or whatever I am playing at the moment. And I started playing this game, and it took a little bit to get into it, just like the first 5 minutes, because it's just a big intro before you actually get to the gameplay. But I think this is a hidden gem. This game was beautiful, like visually, the way it was written, the way it's executed. I absolutely love this game, and I'm starting to recommend it to all my friends who have Switches, and that's why I'm putting this video on now, because I want you guys to know, for those who aren't really into indie games, me, I'm starting to branch out with my Switch, because I don't play too many big title games on my Switch because I can get them on my Xbox and stuff, but the eShop has so many carefully crafted indie games that are beautiful for the Switch because you can take them on the go, and it's like having the PSP games or the Vita games that aren't as like big title, like third-party developers, but they're amazing. They're just crafted so beautifully. It's so perfect for the Switch, and I'm loving it, and that's why every month I buy like 2 or 3 games for like $5, like all these indie games, and trying them out because they're really good games, you know? I love trying something that's not another Mario Kart game or another Super Smash Bros or another Legend of Zelda, something new, you know? Something that's not from Nintendo, basically, you know? Because Nintendo doesn't branch out too often, you know? Last time was really like Splatoon and like ARMS and stuff, but this short review will be talking about some of the things I love about it and just a little bit of things I didn't, but overall, it was a great game, so I'm going to do that and also show you some gameplay. I did my best to record as much of the best moments without trying to spoil it, but just in case this is your official spoiler warning now, it might reveal some of the story throughout the game, so if you're not ready to, then either way, it's just going to spoil it eventually, at least a little bit. I'm doing my best to not show you key moments in the game, but there is a lot that I want to show, so it's not going to ruin the story for you, but it's going to show you parts of the game that you won't understand until you get to the game, you know? So I did my best to try to filter that out, but you'll see. So the first thing I want to talk about is the soundtrack. It's kind of like classy, kind of funky, like something you wouldn't hear in a Scooby-Doo game. The first thing that came to my mind when I listened to the soundtrack was kind of like a Scooby-Doo type, like Game Boy Advance game kind of thing, you know? It's definitely an indie game soundtrack, but it's a pretty nice soundtrack if you want to take a listen. The other thing is the visuals, the graphics. I really like the colors. Everything's so smooth. It's like a canvas throughout the entire game, and it's really nice. Going on with the graphics and the way it's displayed, this game does a lot of glitching. It does a lot of like that VHS static, and like, you know, like the screen flips upside down sometimes and you're moving backwards, and like the word gets distorted and you hear all this stuff, and it's just lovely stuff, you know? But it makes it different because not every game does that, you know? How often is it that you're playing a game and all of a sudden your screen starts like flashing and lights start going and characters start doing all these things and the voice gets distorted and you hear like 3 different demonic background voices for like one scene? And
so let's get home.
No.
Clarissa, what are you...
All the Oxenfree.
There was a decent amount of gameplay time. Took me a couple hours to beat it. I was actually trying to beat it the day I got it, because I liked it so much and I wanted to do a review about it. And here I am about a week and a half later finally doing the review, because it took me a couple hours. I really had to, like, it was that kind of game where I thought I was done and then I was like, oh snap, like I got a couple more things to do. And then I kind of hated it because I was like, I want to finish it so I can do the review on it already. But then the moment I finished it, I was like, man, that was a good game. The one thing I didn't like about this game is the load time. And I'll literally show you, I will legit show you a real-time load time from a game, from a scene to another scene. Sometimes these load times would get up to a minute, a whole minute. And like, they did do this one thing towards the end where it shows you like little pictures and little visuals, which would be nice, you know. It'd be nice if they gave you a little visual of like the scenery or concept art while you're waiting on the load time. But half the time I ended up just leaving my Switch there and being on my phone, going through Instagram or Twitter for an entire minute and then going back to that. Because sometimes you go to the wrong area and you gotta wait for the load time, then you actually gotta go back and you gotta wait for the load time again, and you end up spending like 2 minutes just on load time alone. So definitely have something on you to do for that minute that you're waiting for it to load every single time it loads. Now they have this radio mechanic in this game, which I absolutely love. I haven't seen it in anything else. I like it because it has that Fallout feel. When you're just walking around and you're lost, if you can tune in to a radio station, you can actually just listen to some music while you're just jamming, like you're just walking around, so that's kind of fun. But you also use the radio mechanic to tune into frequencies. This is a kind of survivor, horror, suspense, mystery game, so every now and then you can tune in to, and you can hear voices of like some of the past ghosts or some of the past stations. There's a couple radio towers around the area, so if you're trying to communicate with friends in the game, then it helps you. You can pick up the frequencies so you can actually communicate with them. You can't talk back to them through the radio, of course, but you can still hear them, you know. It's a really good game. I'm gonna go ahead and show you some gameplay.
It's a radio lock. The woman sure did love her antiquated security.
That is a nifty gizmo.
Who's that? Hey, where'd Ren go? He was standing right there.
Jonas, come on, snap out of it. Luna!
Sometimes stuff just happens, and that's the end of it.
Wait!
I guess the universe doesn't choose to do anything. It just does.
Where do they keep going? What are you doing with them?
What are we doing with them? That is the question of the night, I guess.
And that's going to be the end of that. I do have a new video coming out next Wednesday. I'll be working on a couple things as long as it's not snowing again. And also check out this little Doom video I made. You're gonna absolutely love it. I had fun doing it. I downloaded a bunch of new effects on my software, so I'm gonna end up doing a lot more now. I'm gonna try to mess a little more with special effects and everything, bring a couple more video games to life. But yeah, go ahead and check out that Doom video. I know you'll love it. Alright, and then I'll see you next week. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I do know I'm still gonna end up working on a science video sometime this week. Might upload that one next time, and I might switch back and forth with like a short video clip of a gaming thing and then like a little talk of science. Just a short like taste, I guess. I'm going to be talking about AI intelligence. You know, what happens if robots demand for rights like they do in Detroit. And then I'm going to show gameplay that's going to connect directly into the AI conversation, as well as some movies that touch on artificial intelligence becoming self-aware. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.